Hello kids, good morning. Welcome to the class number 1. The new homework has already been assigned for this day. Remember, you have time to work today to be delivered tomorrow afternoon, okay? So that you can read a little more and practice what we are about to see. Okay, we're first going to check adverb of frequency. We actually check this topic in a class, but we're going to give a little review about what it is. Okay, frequency adverbs are the frequency you do activities. Okay, and these activities are, for example, wear jeans, eat vegetables, dance in parties, go to the dentist, use a computer, among others. Okay, and how are we going to use the frequency adverbs? So repeat after me, just to remind. Always, usually, regularly, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, and never. Remember, you have some other videos to practice more here to make it easier. So let's start with one example. We have here this question that says how often, okay? And for example, the question is, how often do you eat vegetables? Mr. Paco, how often do you eat vegetables? In my case, I like vegetables. I like vegetables, so I usually eat vegetables. How often do you eat vegetables, Mr. Paco? Okay. I usually eat vegetables. Probably some of you like more vegetables than others. So you can say as depending how often you do this activity. You can say I sometimes eat vegetables, I always eat vegetables, or I never eat vegetables. I don't know. It is up to you and how often you and your mom or dad and parents or someone in the family eat the vegetables. Okay? So let's start with the other question. How often? How often is the key to answer the questions. How often means con qué frecuencia, cada cuánto. Let's just clarify this one so that you know what you are saying. How often do you go to the dentist? Well, this is an activity that I sometimes do. So, Mr. Paco, how often do you go to the dentist? Oh, I sometimes go to the dentist. I'm going to answer here. I sometimes go to the dentist. Okay? And I have another frequency adverb already answered. The first one is I usually eat vegetables. The other is I sometimes go to the dentist. So far so good? Class? Okay. Let's start with the other. We have another example here. Use a computer. Well, this is something we are going to be doing very, very often these days. So, my question is, how often do you kids use a computer? Okay, in my case, I usually, not always because my classes are not 100. Okay, let's continue with the explanation. as I was saying, how often do you use a computer? In my case, as I was saying, I usually use a computer because I have to check students' grades, because I have to design exams, because I have to check videos to give homework, and some other examples. Okay? And a question for you is, how often do you use a computer? Okay, I can say, I often, okay, let's highlight here. I often use a computer. Okay, and in this way we can say many other examples. Go to the beach, play video games, but it depends on how often you do the activities. How often you do the activities. And this is how frequency adverbs work. Therefore, here in a class, we were only circling the adverb of frequency. We always brush our teeth. She never goes to the beach. He usually stays after school. Mother often bakes cookies in the afternoon. Sometimes we have baseball practice after school. I seldom have time to watch the dog. I never finish my homework on time. We seldom have dinner in a restaurant. I always say thank you. They often go to football games together. This is what we have in page number 19. And now what you have to do is answer as I explain, adding or writing a frequency adverb here. Frequency adverbs are the ones we already mentioned: always, usually, often, sometimes, okay, occasionally, seldom, rarely, never. This is your decision what you're going to do. So in your notebook, in your workbook, you have to write here the frequency adverb you think they do this activity. Example number 2. Do alligators travel by bus? How often do you think they travel by bus? Well, let's imagine alligators never oh, I'm sorry, let's just fix this. Alligators never travel by bus. Okay, in this same position you can write your own examples, check the meanings, and finish the activity. Okay, remember guys, there are some other activities you have been assigned in vocabulary and in grammar today. Check the videos, practice as much as possible to get the new words for today's activity ready. Okay, the activities, the words are the ones I have already mentioned: always, usually, regularly, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, never. And do your examples in the book, in the book, like the ones I already wrote here. With this, it's going to be much easier to finish with your activities. Okay? I'll be online from 9 to 10 and 10 to 11. Check please in which time, in which schedule your group is going to be attended by Mr. Paco. In the meantime, guys, have an excellent day. Have a good day with your family, and let's keep in touch. Bye bye.